I'm still trying to work through it myself, Webby. Yeah, look, prior to the game, Tomo was right. We trained yesterday and we were going into the game with the squad that we had because we were very healthy and fit. We had the 17 fit men and, yeah, right at the start of the warm-up, Corey Thompson unfortunately twinged a little bit of his Achilles. And look, I basically said to Robbie, we didn't know how his leg was going to be. As the doctors did amazing things and, he did amazing things to give himself an opportunity to play, but with the momentum that we had and those sorts of things, we decided that, look, Robbie wasn't going to play. But I said, one thing I will do, mate, just bring your gear because you just never know what can happen. So I just look back now and I wish I didn't say that. But he bought his gear and I felt at that moment in time, I walked into Robbie and I said, righto, mate, you're on. So, the boys fought really hard right to half-time. We were 6-4 there and unfortunately for about a 10-minute period, it just pulled the game apart on us.
When did you make a decision on Robbie during the week at any stage, or when did you actually rule him out?
Early in the week,
okay.
Yeah. And look, one thing, having someone like Robbie there, I sort of said, look, mate, just be ready because you never know from Monday through to the weekend, someone might do something that I didn't expect to happen in the warm-up. So, the plan was that we were going to go in with Corey at fullback and away we go. So, it wasn't to be.
What was his reaction when you said that to
To Robbie?
Just before the game when he had to go on?
Well, I spoke to Robbie about it and I said, mate, you've got to be ready. I said, scenarios that can change in our game. And he was ready to go. He sort of walked in and out and was looking because obviously they were doing some testing on Corey and then I said, mate, you ready to go? And he just went and got his gear on and he was ready to go.
And how hard was that decision to tell him earlier in the week, I'm going to keep the same side, I'm not going to bring him in?
Oh, look, it's they're tough decisions that as a coach you've got to make. And look, I weighed up the whole situation and where he was at, spoke to doctors and physios and the scenarios and I felt that our team had really good momentum in the last couple of weeks. So, I trust all my players and it wasn't planned obviously for what we went through, but we actually spoke about that if something does happen, well, that was the opportunity that we had and
Was he okay with the initial decision?
Sorry?
Was he okay with the initial decision?
Yeah, he was. No worries at all. Look, he was still trying to work out himself whether he was right. So, it was one of those things that I sat down and we made the decision together about what we thought was best for the team. And that's exactly what he did. He said, man, you've got to make the right decisions for the team and I might be right, I might not be. But he also understood that over the last couple of weeks we had some really strong momentum in how we were playing the game. It's just unfortunate it rolled out the way it did.
That decision to not reveal whether he was in or out, was that because you thought things could change, that he could get better?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just knew that if I had Robbie there for whatever reasons, that potentially I might use him, and it turned out the way it did.
And you've taken some strides forward this year, but in the end you've just missed out. I mean, when you review the season, how do you think you went as a club?
Yeah, I think I've got some pretty high expectations, as every coach does, but I feel that we did miss a bit of an opportunity here. We put ourselves into a great situation where we were last game, and look, people look at the West Tigers and they've been where they've been, but the expectations around the club has changed and it has to change. We play the game to play in grand finals, and that's the biggest thing that I'm continually trying to shift, I guess, in our mentality of who we are as a club and the expectations around what we are as a team. I've got some very capable players there and they've had great experiences now, so once the dust all disappears, we'll get back to work again. But I've got a lot of these younger guys like Ollie Clark, Tom McCarley, Luke Garner, even Brooksy. They've all grown as players and they've got to make sure now that they realise the opportunities to move forward into next year. Is that some of those players are just as good, if not better, than some of the people I've coached that have won grand finals. So it's about recognising that I can be that player, and that's what I need to make sure that I instill in this club, that this club's expectations have got to be towards the top four, like everyone talks about. That gives you the best opportunities, and then why not shoot for minor premierships and those sorts of things. Just because they haven't been there, we'll shift and shift fast.
Has there been an expectation badge that near enough is good enough for the club, perhaps before you arrived?
I don't know, Woodall, from that point of view, but the expectation moving forward is that I want players that expect the same of what I'm talking about, because that's how you win comps. That you've got to have players, grown men, wanting to turn up week in, week out, and there's games that I can reflect on throughout the year, and we've missed by 2 points or things like that, or various tackles. Well, you ice those, all of a sudden you're not in a shootout in the last game. So, if they grow out of what we've gone through, well, there's no reasons why the West Tigers can't stand up and be the club that everyone wants them to be. I mean, look at the fans out there. I mean, the following, I've said it, the club's huge. Those fans out there today were sensational. I'm just really disappointed, and so are the players, that we weren't able to deliver what they were after, because we've had the opportunities.
Do you think that will be Chris Lawrence's last game for the club?
No.
You'll be here next year?
Oh, look, I want Chrissy Lawrence here. And look, there's been a lot when I first arrived in the organisation and the position the organisation was at, so it's taken time. And it does take time to try and work through things, and we've spoke to Chrissy, and I can only fit in to the salary cap. So if players want to play within that, I want them here, and Chrissy Lawrence is no different, and he brings a lot from his leadership to just who he is as a player, and he's got to help drive to where we want to get to, because they obviously haven't been in and around the finals for quite some time.
What about Benji? When Robbie was doing his big lap up on it, Benji was sort of doing a little one at that hillside there. Where's things at there?
We're working pretty hard in that space too. I've said that I want Benj, and he knows where we're at. And with his respect, he said, mate, it's all about we want to make the finals. So those sorts of things will be sorted out over the next couple of weeks.
What about Cronulla, Madge? Can they do some damage in the finals, do you think?
I think they've got the experience within their team to be able to play at a high level. I guess it's how you've been throughout the season tends to reflect how you are in and around the finals time. So look, if you look at that, I'm not quite sure, but they've definitely got the experience, so they're going to trouble a lot of teams.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Thank you.